Okay, we're recording. Thank you, Amanda, for reminding me because I was totally not going to record it. So, like I said, there's no slides, so I'll get to look at each other's faces all night, which I like because then, I don't know, face with the voice. So what I wanted to do was go through just a few tips. I've been getting a lot of questions on Instagram, and they're the same questions. So if one or two people have a question, if you don't know that you have that question yet, you eventually will. So once you get to that point, you'll know what to do. So I get asked a lot for Instagram, how do you get followers? Like, how do you know who to follow on Instagram? So for me, if you've watched any of the Instagram training that we've put out in the push group or even on like the team page, you'll know that there's a 5-3-1 method. And so you want to follow 5, and this even means for our Facebook, this is totally applicable. Follow or friend 5. I'm totally brain farting. Amelia?
Get your slides.
Yeah, right?
Okay. Yeah, so it's 3 common.
Right?
And follow.
And so what is the 1?
I think it's you follow the 1.
Follow 1. I thought you followed 5.
5, hold on.
Yeah.
I have it written down. Hang on.
Well, I would, if it's 1, it should be 5, because you don't want to just follow one person.
Well, yeah, but it's follow that person, I think, is what.
All right, you look at that, but so this is the key. You want to look at people who you're following that you think is either rep material or customer material, and maybe they're not there yet. Maybe they're not convinced yet. They're still watching. They're still deciding. On Instagram especially, you can also do this on Facebook. You can go to their followers on Instagram or their friends. So for me, I was talking to Amelia, and I use Bonnie Engel from Beachbody as someone that I don't love, but she's smart. So I go and I look at her followers, and I look through them, and I say, okay, so what of Bonnie's followers? I'm going to click on a few, and this is purely what they look like or what their profile picture is, which is super judgmental and probably not the best way to go about it. But you look at them and you say, okay, she's holding a baby. She's a mom. I'm going to click on her. I'm going to look and see at her page if it's public, which most of the time on Instagram they are. I'm going to see what she's posting about. I'm going to see maybe if she's a Beachbody coach or if she's not, or if she's doing something else. And if she's someone that I think would be a great person for our team, or maybe someone who I think would try the coffee, I follow them. And then I will go through her page, and I will like and I'll comment on several of those pictures that I'm looking at. And not auto comments, because you can pay people to auto comment for you very vague things like love your picture or love your filter. Nothing like that. It's got to be about the picture specifically, so they know this is a real person who's really commenting on my picture. This is legit. Let me go look and see what she's about. And most of the time, not every time, but a lot of the time, they will follow me just because I followed them and liked and commented. And this might be a couple days. You write their name down, you come back, and you're sort of networking with them. You could send them a message and just say, hey, I'm a new follower. I love your page. The filters you use are really eye-catching. I'm excited to connect with you. Hope you'll follow me back, or something like that. And usually they do. And that's not spammy on Instagram or salesy on Instagram. Instagram's different. Facebook, sometimes you can't do that, but Instagram, they know you're trying to sell them something on Instagram. So, Amelia, did you find it?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Is it okay?
I was just Googling it to double check, and it is, so you like the last 5 photos that they've maybe they've gotten like the most traction on, and then you comment on 3 of them, and then you follow that person. So that one is just that person, but then you do that over and over with different people.
Right. And Instagram also will not shut you down like Facebook does with too many friend requests at one time. They may give you a warning like you're working too fast, slow down, because they're thinking you're like a robot. But for the following thing, I haven't noticed that you can follow too many people at one time. So that's awesome for Instagram. If you can keep track of who you're following, you can, follow 30 people in a day and network with those 30 and then really grow your followers genuinely with real people who you possibly, could connect with. So that was a lot of information. Does everybody understand that? Does anyone have any specific questions about that part of Instagram or how to get followers or anything you want to add? I know Instagram is a beast that many of us have not wanted to do yet. Honestly, now that I'm doing Instagram, I prefer it over Facebook. Facebook is my bread and butter, though. It's where all my people come from, the majority. But a lot of my recent reps have come from Instagram. So it works. And stories. I cannot tell you enough. Stories. Do your stories. Share them to your Facebook story. So when you're messaging someone or someone is messaging someone else, your picture is going to come up at the top of their messenger with a blue circle, and they know you have a story. And they're going to click on you and they're going to watch your story. And if you're talking about Magic Coffee and you're talking about your business and you're talking about your day, they're going to want to check your story every single day. And you're educating people and not having to worry about what Instagram or Facebook is regulating people. Does that make sense? So definitely stories, as much as it takes practice and time to get used to it, it's really where I've found a lot of my people as of lately. So highly recommend that to be on everybody's to-do list. So anything with Instagram that anybody has any questions with? Has anyone not done Instagram yet? And that's okay. And when me and Amanda were discussing what we were going to talk about tonight, she's like, well, a lot of people aren't doing it, which that makes total sense. It took me years to finally say, I'm just going to do it. So just little by little, you'll get there.
Every once in a while I play around with it and then I back off because it's just too much right now.
Yeah, and it's something else to learn, and it's something else to know where the buttons are and filters and where even to make a story, right? So I get it.
Stacy, it
Yes.
might be helpful for everybody to share their Instagram handle in the chat, just so I have over 900 followers because I'm a teacher, and so I have like a crazy amount. I think Amelia's the one that asked me about my pictures and how I shift all my stuff, so I have like quotes and then it shifts all the time.
Right.
So the uniform look, which I'm terrible at updating because I'm terrible with my life, but it's okay.
Yes. And so you're saying like you have a picture and then like inspirational quote and then another picture. So all the way down your whole Instagram in the middle is all words. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's all.
it depends on when I post a picture. So like it moves. They're always in the same line.
Yes. And that does look really clean and it stands out. And I don't know how to do that, to be honest with you. I just learned how to do the spacing and I posted it in our group. You can put your post in that little box and you can click copy and it will give you your spaces that Instagram requires without those like invisible dots. I tried the invisible dots. I was like so aggravated. Sean's like, just stop. So I Googled how to space on Instagram and this thing came up, this tool. You literally put your verbiage in the box, click copy, and paste it on Instagram, and it does it for you. It's genius. So if any of you don't know what I'm talking about, when you're ready and you're typing out on Instagram, the spacing is different. You can't just enter down. It's weird. So if you put it in this box and copy it, it'll make it look cleaner instead of a big old paragraph of words. So yeah, Jesse, how do you do that? Is that something easy to explain?
It's super easy. If you go all the way down my timeline, I wasn't doing it to begin with. And I follow one of the big boss babes who does a lot of training on Instagram. And so I learned about this. Also, there's an app that's really good if you want to like do hashtags. But what you do is I post 2 pictures and then a quote, and it shifts my quote every time. So it's always 2 pictures, a quote.
Okay, so every time you post on Instagram, all right,
if I do that, it will always stay in a life.
Okay, so you have to put 2 pictures every single time you post and then a quote.
Yeah, and I always make sure, if you can see mine, but I always make sure that whatever I'm posting goes in the line. So if I'm like, okay, I'm gonna post something, if I haven't posted a quote, then I'll find a quote to post. Wow, it goes way back. So way back to when I first started drinking the coffee.
Okay.
So if you post 2 pictures and then a quote, it will always shift your quotes.
Okay,
to the
gotcha.
straight line.
Cool. So that's what I was doing wrong. I would just post like, I thought it was a picture, a quote, a picture, and then it would always be like a puzzle. But yeah, it does. It looks really clean. And so when you post another picture, then it'll eventually all be in the center, right?
Yeah, I'm doing one right now just so you can see.
Okay. Yeah, so that's awesome. That looks great.
So I just posted a picture, and now they're all in the middle.
Yes. Okay. All right.
So
cool.
it always shifts every time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a really uniform look.
Right.
And I get a lot of traction off of my quotes because I hashtag follow teachers, all kinds, because I'm a teacher, and
right.
Every teacher sells Beachbody right now. So. Like I get a lot of Beachbody messages, and I just send them coffee messages back. Amanda will tell you, I do it every time.
Good. That's awesome. All right. So that's good. If anyone needs help on that, Jesse knows, but 2 pictures and then a quote, you'll get that uniform look on your grid, which is great. I don't know how much we want to go into Instagram, probably not too much, but the highlights, the little bubbles, the little round things on your profile, that I learned the hard way. You have to take it from your live story and click highlight and put it in one of your bubbles. Once the story expires, it's gone forever. Unless you have it on your camera roll, you could upload it back onto Instagram as a story and then click highlight. But once that story expires, if you don't have it saved, too bad, so sad. So like I have one that's Magic Coffee. So all of my Magic Coffee stuff is there. So if someone comes and visits my Instagram and they want to click on Magic Coffee, everything about it, including when you get 10,000 followers on Instagram, you have a swipe up. So I put a lot of stuff in there that's a swipe up because, to be honest, I attract people like right about now who their kids are in bed, who are enjoying a glass of wine on the couch. They don't want to have to click 7 things to get to my page. So by me giving them the swipe up and they click, they're like on my website and they're going to purchase because they're like, okay, this is easy. I'm going to try it, you know? And that's the same as me. Like I don't want to click 7 times to get something. If it's easy, I'm more apt to do it. So if they click on Magic Coffee, swipe up, there you go. So those are the highlights. That's what that is.
Can I ask you a quick question, Stacey?
Yeah.
How do you make the little highlights look so pretty?
So like the colors, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that is Word Swag. You just go into Word Swag and you put Magic Coffee in there. You can put any background you want, any font. Save it as a picture, and then you change the highlight cover as that. So it's super easy. Yep, it's Word Swag.
Cool. Thanks.
Stacey, and for my quotes, they're all look the same. They're very uniform. I use Word Swag to do those. I think I told Amelia that he asked me about it one day. But I use Word Swag to make all my quotes so they stay uniform. They're black with a certain font or a certain color every time.
That's good. Yeah, because that's what you're going to really get when eye-catching. There's a fly in here. Yeah, it's more eye-catching when you do that. That's good. All right. So we wanted to also have a Q&A time. Amanda's going to talk about following up with people who like your stuff. Go ahead, Amanda.
That's not the word I used. So Amelia is actually really, really good at this. So I might have Amelia jump in on this one too. We've talked a lot about this, Amelia and I have, and I think it's something that we should talk about, making sure everybody's doing this. When people like your posts about coffee and you start noticing the same people are liking your posts, they're not commenting, they're not messaging you, but you're like, you know, this person's liked every single coffee post. They're always the first one to like it when I post something. I feel like I should reach out, but I don't know what to say. I think those people are like, they're hidden fans, kind of. It's like they're shy fans. They don't want to come out and say something. They don't want to come out and message you. When we worked for Beachbody, one of the things that we used to post a lot is, for more information, like, comment, or message me. Well, I used to follow up with people that would like it and say, hey, I saw you liked my thing. Are you interested in joining my group or doing whatever? And they're like, no, I was just liking the picture. It was just a good picture. And I realized that you have to be very honest and blunt with people, but you can't just assume they're liking it because they want to be part of it. And it's okay to be very honest and say, and Amelia, you'll have to correct me if I get this wrong, but I think one of the things I had Amelia say was, hey girl, I noticed that you've liked all my pictures. I just couldn't not reach out to you and ask to see if you were interested, or are you just trying to be a cheerleader and, you know, encouraging me on this journey? Something like that. So they have a fallback to say, no, I'm just being your cheerleader. And that's okay. You don't want to run them off. But I realized people were stopping liking my things because I was always following up on them in a salesy, not intentionally salesy, and the wording wasn't necessarily salesy. I felt like I had gotten permission to ask them if they wanted to join because they liked it. As in my instructions, it said, if you like this, you know, if you want to join, like it. But then people stopped liking stuff because I was always following up. So you have to be able to do this very general, hey, are you being my cheerleader? Or, you know, I would kick myself if I didn't reach out to you just to see if you were interested. Amelia, do you want to talk about some of the conversations you had that started that way?
Yeah, and I was going to tell you exactly what you say because I totally copied and pasted. I'm always about copying and pasting. But so what I say is, thanks for all the love on my coffee post, friend. I hope you're having a great day so far. Forgive me if I'm being all magic coffee in your faces, but I have to ask because I've been kicking myself since we last spoke. Are you liking my post because you secretively want to know more about the coffee business, or are you just one of my biggest cheerleaders? If you're one of my fans and cheerleaders, that is awesome, and I'm so grateful, but I'd kick myself if I didn't ask you this. And I just do a little silly face and hearts. Mm-hmm. I had one girl I noticed who's a friend of mine, and they were my business post. So I reached out to her and I said exactly that, and she said that she was actually really interested and hasn't really wanted to chat with me, about it. But she just, because I approached her, she went into this long, drawn-out conversation about how she wants to help, provide for with her family finances. And I had another girl, same thing, and she was like, you know what, I'm just one of your biggest cheerleaders. And I'm like, well, thank you so much. And she said, if there's anything I can do to help, so she's offered to, share any of my posts, which is nice.
Yeah, and another great way, if you have somebody who's always cheering you on and really doesn't necessarily want anything to do with the business or whatever, but just likes your stuff, is to, as a thank you for always supporting you and liking your stuff, is send them a trial pack and see if they'll do a review on it. one of my most recent trial packs that we sent out was to a friend of mine who is selling CBD oil, and said, you know, I've noticed that you've posted about having migraines. She had commented that CBD oil really helps with that, and somebody else had seconded it. And she actually brought it up to me and said, hey, just wondering, would you be interested in a sample swap? And I was like, heck yes, I would, because I would like to see if it would help my migraines. So she sent me some CBD oil. I sent her a trial pack, and she posted about it and was really excited. And I posted when I first tried the CBD oil. And then we talked a little bit after, and she said, you know, I'm trying to get it in my budget, but I definitely want to order. This is great. She has a toddler, so she gets like 0 sleep and she's always on the go. So she did that. And I can't remember exactly how it came up, but she's very new to network marketing. And so I was just very honest with her. And I said, you know, how is the business side of that? And she said that she had just gotten, that it was going to be building. It was going to be a building kind of thing. And she had just gotten her first check, and she realized it might take a little while, but she's excited to get this up and running, which is, we've all been there at our first network marketing. And I thought about Amelia, and I said, what is your, or she said, you know, if this continues to work for me, I may even see about the business side of it. And I said, what is your monthly income goal? Like, what are you trying to make a month to make this work for you, make it worth it? And she said, if she could make an extra $100 a month, she would be happy with that. And I said, let me tell you about my friend Amelia. I don't know if I dropped your name, Amelia, but that you had a goal to make $500 a month, and you surpassed that immediately. And then I sent her a screenshot of my current check, and she was like, oh my God, that's in one week. And that wasn't even, you know, one of my best checks, but it was far more than her first check she had just gotten, which was $13. So I was like, listen, I don't send this to everybody, but you need to know, because mama to mama, we have to take care of our families and our kids, and we have to, you know, any extra stream of income, that you have to, any opportunity that you have, if somebody's liking it, somebody's sharing samples with you, you know, share what you can to spread the love, and, you know, especially to other people. I have a huge place in my heart for helping other moms. So she may be on our team in the next month, but, you know, speaking honestly about having cheerleaders, kind of cross-networking with other people who are also doing MLMs, trading things, so you guys can review each other's products. I know, Stacey, you've done that with leggings and things like that. But definitely, when you notice people continuously liking your stuff and they've not said a word, reach out to them. And Amelia, if you want to share that in the Grind Tribe group, so we can all see kind of what your script is that you use, and everybody can kind of make it their own. It's important, I think, to give people an out, but it would be a huge loss if you didn't reach out to people who are constantly supporting you.
I agree, because I've had several recently who have said, I've been meaning to message you, and then I hesitated because I'm not sure. But because you reached out to me, I mean, Christy, for instance, she's not here tonight, but I kept thinking about Christy. Like, she kept posting about things, and it was just like, I had to tell her about the business. I had to ask her, and I had asked her, and she had said, not right now. And I circled back randomly. I was sitting on my steps going upstairs, and I just was like, okay, I'm going to quickly message Christy on the way up to take a shower. She's like, you have no idea how much this means to me that you are taking the time to message me and ask me, and I'm ready to join your team. And she literally she's on our team because I followed up, because she was brought to mind. You know, like, don't ever feel like you're bothering someone. I mean, some people you are. I got told recently that when I said, I sent that message that everybody was sending about only 5% of people see your posts. She basically said, yeah, to be honest with you, I had to unfollow you because your posts, I just can't take them. I'm like, okay, note to self, unfriend you later, you know, but really, she was honest, and she was like, you know, it is what it is. You're just not my cup of tea. And that's why I posted, I'm not everybody's cup of tea, because I'm not. And that's okay. But the majority of people need you to follow up with them. Need you to. If you send someone a trial and you don't follow up with them, you are crazy. You have to follow up with every single person you give a trial to, because they might be waiting for you to check in. Maybe they don't realize it goes both ways, you know? So definitely follow up. Don't feel like you're bothering people. And if you are, your people.
I just went through my group and checked in with every single person. Well, I'm up to ours. Checked in with every single person. Hey girl, how's it going? Just wanted to check in with you. And how are things going with the coffee? And that way, if they've ordered, great. Maybe they need to reorder. A lot of them came back and said maybe they stalled out and they want to try a different product now and add something new in. So that upped my volume. Several people just needed to reorder. They'd run out, and some had questions. One person asked about the business side of things. And one girl that was and a lot of them are just in the group and haven't ordered. So it was kind of a little nudge to have them order. One person I sent a trial pack to, I think in November or December. She's like, girl, you're going to hate me. I still haven't even tried my trial pack. And so she tried it this week. But she'd forgotten about it. It was like in her cabinet. She'd forgotten about it. So I followed up with her. But I think it's important every couple months to kind of go through and just touch on everybody, just see how they're doing. Even if you don't mention the coffee, just keep that relationship going. And it's not only going to, continue that relationship and that conversation, but it's going to up your posts on their page and their posts on your page. So you're also doing that kind of a two birds, one stone thing.
All right. Anybody else have any other questions about anything? Business related, products?
I have a question.
Sure.
Do we know if the Emulin or the cocoa are going to become part of the 3-product pack at any time in the future?
In the future, yes. I just don't know when, and they don't know when either.
Okay.
What they do is, and this was our first new product launch as a part of the business for all of us, really. So what they do is once they regulate and they see, they can project roughly how many units they sell a month of each thing. They will put it in the bundle, and they'll have enough in stock to fill that. Does that make sense? So right now they're still figuring out those two things. And Emulin is probably going to be a little bit longer because that's even newer. But like the Blackwater and 24/7, they bought so much of that, it's crazy. So they put that right in the bundle right away. They didn't think cocoa was going to be as crazy as it was. So they didn't order as much to begin with. And we sold out twice, right? So it's quirks. They're learning. They need to, I think, ask people like us what we feel is going to be. I thought 24/7 would be crazy too, but cocoa, that to me is a no-brainer. That's going to be crazy if it does what the coffee does. And they just didn't order enough. So they're trying to still see how many units per month, and then eventually they'll put it in the bundle. The cocoa is expensive to make, and because it's 30 servings, I know it'll be in the bundle, but it might be a few months still. But it will in time.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Anything else anybody wants to ask or talk about? I know we're right at our 30 minutes, but I talked about Instagram a little longer than I probably should have. Anything? No?
I just want to say one more thing. Thank you for always being so positive, all of you, and encouraging. I love that we're not competing with each other in this do or die type situation. I really like everybody being positive.
Yes, that's super important in this type of business, right? And we are not competing. We're all on the same team. And the way that this comp plan is structured, if we have repeat customers, everybody gets the volume. It's so different. Other companies, it would be all for myself because I would have to do it. I would have to go out and try to take everybody's people, not literally, but mutual friends, I would definitely go after them. Now it's like, oh, you're buying from Amanda. Awesome. Because guess what? Or even if someone's buying from me and they're mutual friends with Amanda. Yes, I'm Amanda's upline, but Amanda's getting that volume when they order 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes, right? Items later. So yeah, this comp plan definitely helps with that. But I love our team. We're great. All of us.
Can we just make sure everybody understands about when you join or when you have new people join to put the Grind Tribe after your name? And then if you're also on my downline, so Amelia or Jesse or Danny or I'm trying to think who some of my immediates are, that Kate, anyway, if you're in my immediate downline as well, also put hashtag GYFT after it, just because we're trying to recognize people quickly on the leaderboard. And when people don't put anything, I honestly do not read each name on the leaderboard when I'm going through. I'm just like, they're looking for hashtag gift is what I'm looking for. And I know Stacy's looking for a Grind Tribe gift or just Grind Tribe. So that's the only reason that we do it. But that's not the only reason. Also to show other people in Valentis how much we've populated the leaderboard. So I didn't know it was an app also. I thought I was really sassy and creative with Get Your Fit Together, but fine.
That was hilarious. Okay, quickly review the requirements to get paid and stay paid each month. This might not be fast. So everybody, we have a lot of new people. Number 1, you came in as a Ruby. That's why you're on our team page, in our message thread. You have our training. As Heather said, you have our positivity. That is a part of your $575 fee, right? You get all the things, including a way to help people get started with the trial pack, which is important. But you have to have, to keep that Ruby rank, you have to have a 3-item order. If you come in May, you need another order by the end of June. So if you came in on May 1st, you don't need another order June 1st. Sometime in the month of June, before the 30th, if it clocks to July, you're done. There's no going back. So June 1st to June 30th, sometime within that month, you have to have a loyalty purchase of 3 items. Now, 3 items is cheaper than buying 2 items separately, but technically all you need is 2 items because 1 item is 50 VV, 2 items is 100 because 50 and 50 is 100, but 3 is also 100. And the reason why 3 isn't 150 or more than 100 is because you get a discount when you bundle 3 at once. Okay, so you can either take advantage of the 3 items or you can buy 2 separate items and still have all the BV that you need. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, to get paid the most possible as a Ruby, you have to have your loyalty purchase in for the month prior. If you came into the business, that counts as your volume, so don't worry about that. But you need to make sure you have 1 order on each leg. So at the beginning of the month, when you're new, leave it on alternate. That way, your first order is going on one side, your second order is going on the other side. Once you get that second customer, I would suggest talking to your upline, but you want to set it to your personal leg because when you're coming into a team who's built as quickly as we have, you're going to come into some nice volume right away on that team leg. And you want to get as close to possible, even those legs out. So stick as many customers, even your first few reps on your personal leg so that you can get some volume up there. Okay? Then let's say that was this month. Now next month, because you have 1 customer on each leg, if those same customers purchase again, you're good. You don't have to worry about getting 2 new customers, but you always have to have an order on each side go out every single month for you to get all the commissions possible. Does that make sense? I did do a video on this, but it's good to have this forum in case you need me to explain it a little further. And it's confusing, so if you are confused, that's okay. We can go into detail privately even. But just know, leave it on alternate when you first start. And definitely talk to your upline. Once you start getting some customers, like maybe 5, 6 customers, talk to them and be like, okay, listen, can you look at my genealogy, any advice, and we can help you. All right, I really went over. I'm sorry. All right, guys, if we don't have anything else, we're gonna get off. And then Amelia, could you put your little verbiage in there on the team page just so that we can check it out? Okay, thank you guys. See you later. Bye.